In this video, we're going to talk about the skyscraper technique. The skyscraper technique is one of the most well-known methods of link building outreach around. If you're not familiar with it, to summarize it real quick, with skyscraper technique, you're taking a concept, you are then writing a better blog post about that concept than what's already out there. And then once you've written that article, you reach out to the other blogs and websites that are linking to the currently top ranked post on that subject matter and get them to swap out that link for a link to your new and better post. And to do Skyscraper, there are a few different steps to it that we're going to go through. And in this video, we're going to break down everything you need to know about how to successfully execute the Skyscraper technique for your blog and your content. So now let's talk about the steps to running the skyscraper technique. First, we need to research topics. We need to use a tool like Ahrefs or SEMRush or Buzzsumo and find a specific post or posts to target around a given topic. Then we need to find and note the referring domains. We need to see what backlinks are going to this top ranked post so that we can later reach out to them. We'll add these domains to a spreadsheet and keep track of them so that we can do outreach to them later. Then we draft our content with these target posts in mind. Our post has to be better than what's out there currently. And this kind of content takes some serious time and effort to put together. And here you have a specific competitor that you're trying to beat. You have to be able to demonstrate to anyone you're reaching out to that your content is better and deserving of linking to your blog post instead of theirs. Either your post is going to be more in depth or more current. There has to be some hook, something to make it so that your content stands out and above the current content that these other blogs are linking to. Then after that, we're going to do outreach. You'll publish your blog post and do email outreach and follow up to try and persuade these other blogs to link to your post instead of the other post. Now, let's go through kind of each of these steps one by one. First, let's talk about topic research. But before we get into that, we need to talk about kind of what you need for a successful topic. In finding a topic, we have to find a keyword where the top-ranked post has both search volume and backlinks. And these are our criteria, and these are the most important things. If you don't have search volume for your keyword, it's not going to be worth your time to write a post about. And if there are not many referring domains and backlinks to the top-ranked post on your given topic, then you don't have a lot of opportunities for outreach and a lot to work with. Because if you only have one or two links that are going to your top-ranked post, you only have one or two people to reach out to, and the fewer people you have to reach out to, the less amount of links that you're probably going to be able to get. Ideally, the topic that you're writing about is one that gets a lot of traffic, and the top posts have a lot of backlinks to them. This way, when, not if, you write the best post on the given subject matter, and you get all these referring websites to change their links to your post, you can see a big improvement in your traffic and your search rankings. So, how are we going to find these topics? There are several different tools you can use for topic research and finding referring domains to a given URL. The most popular tools that you should check out are Ahrefs, SEMRush, and Buzzsumo. I'm going to show you how to find your topics in each of these tools so that you can eventually pick which one or ones of them you want to use. I should also note, each of these tools is a paid premium tool. But you'll find that you really will need one of these because I've tried Skyscraper method without these tools, and it's just honestly too difficult to do. You will have to spend some money here to be able to do the Skyscraper technique, but hopefully the backlinks that you're getting by executing successfully the Skyscraper technique, following our tips in this video, and all those links that you're getting from this great content, it'll just be worth it. I should note that each of these tools has their own strengths and things that they can do beyond topic research for blog posts and Skyscraper Technique. Ahrefs and SEMRush are great SEO tools for helping you track your search rankings for target keywords, giving you alerts for topics, and also helping you do SEO audits. SEMRush in particular has a lot of great tools for doing paid search campaigns as well. And Buzzsumo has some neat features as well for coming up with content for blog posts. Pricing wise, each of these starts at around $99 per month and goes up from there if you want some more advanced features or more keywords to track using their keyword trackers. So now let's get into topic research, starting with Ahrefs in particular, and then we're going to talk about the other apps. So here's our screenshot of the Ahrefs Content Explorer tool, and this is what you're going to be playing around with. In particular, it's the Content Explorer tool. So you'll click Content Explorer in the top bar of Ahrefs, and then you'll type in your target keyword. For this exercise, I'm choosing the term link building. Why not? Now, I know this is going to be a especially competitive term. Your target term may or may not be as competitive. That's fine. And of course, this is kind of funny. The first article that shows up, first result, is the one that originated the Skyscraper Technique, and that's Brian Dean from Backlinko. And it's no surprise that his post on the Skyscraper Technique has tons of referring domains, his post about link building. I also see that this top ranked post has a ton of traffic, and that's a good thing. That checks both of my boxes in that it has search volume and it has backlinks. So if I care about this and want to take down this blog post, I'm going to have to write a much better blog post than this one and do a ton of outreach to those domains that are currently backlinking to Backlinko. Backlinking to Backlinko, say that 5 times fast. Anyway, in Ahrefs, I can look at the backlinks by clicking on the little backlinks tab and see all the websites that link to this particular Backlinko post. If I want to open up my handy outreach tracking spreadsheet, I can add these different domains to it so I can later reach out to them. We'll talk about your outreach tracking spreadsheet in a little bit, but keep in mind, you're going to need a spreadsheet to track all the links that you're ultimately going to be using to reach out to. One nice thing about Ahrefs is that you can export these results into a CSV, into a spreadsheet if you want, which will save you some time from copying and pasting. I'll also want to note the URL for the articles of these domains that wrote a post that linked to the Backlinko post, because if I want to get a link from them, I need to make it as easy as possible for them by showing them exactly where their link is that I want them to swap out. Lastly, we'll need to note the title of their relevant blog post. You're going to want all of this information to be able to use in your personalized outreach email. And that's how you do topic research in Ahrefs. Next, I want to check out SEMRush. SEMRush is another helpful SEO research and tracking tool. Like Ahrefs, it can track positions, audit your website, and help you research competitors and target keywords. Some things that separate SEMRush from others is SEMRush is good in particular for PPC advertising research. If you're trying to build a Google ad campaign, SEMRush has some unique tools that can help you out with that. But let's get back to Skyscraper Technique for now. So with SEMRush, you can you can search for a particular keyword to see the most popular article on that topic, and then you can look at the backlink profile for that URL. And from there, you can see all the sites that link to it. The UI in SEMRush, it's fine. It has a few more clicks and steps to go through compared to Ahrefs to find what you're looking for, but it does the job just fine. Like we talked about with Ahrefs, once you have all of this data, you'll want to note this in your tracking spreadsheet so you can reach out to them later. And with SEMRush, you can export the data to a spreadsheet, so that's handy too. And that's basically the very quick rundown of researching Skyscraper Technique blog topics in SEMRush. Next, let's talk about Buzzsumo. So Buzzsumo is a tool that's especially good for coming up with blog topics. It's less SEO focused though, really compared to Ahrefs and SEMrush. It's really more focused on content and social. And so when you search for topics in Buzzsumo, it can show you the top linked posts, but also the ones that are getting the most engagement on different social media platforms, if that's something that you care about. Like Ahrefs, Buzzsumo can show you which posts are getting the most links, though when I did a search of the same topic in Buzzsumo that I was searching for in SEMrush and Ahrefs, it showed me different results. Buzzsumo does let you choose a time window for your content, which is nifty, letting you know which are the most popular posts by social share and by links in a given time period, like the last week or the last year. So that's pretty neat too. When you click on the view backlinks for an article in Buzzsumo, you get a list of all the other articles that link to your target blog post, but the results here are not quite as user-friendly as Ahrefs. As you see, they don't show things like anchor text that leads to your target post like you see in Ahrefs, and each result here kind of takes up a lot more of your screen's real estate, and that makes the data a bit more difficult to work with. But all that being said, Buzzsumo has a lot of great features and tools to help you do the topic research, including Skyscraper Technique. Overall, for all of these tools, I like all of them. For Skyscraper Technique in particular, I had a personal preference more towards Ahrefs. But each of them, like I said, can do the job just fine, and each of them has features beyond Skyscraper Technique that are relevant for other methods of link building outreach, as well as SEO and paid search. So by now you found this top dog content. You know what websites you'll be reaching out to for your backlinks, and now you kind of need to put your fingers to your keys and come up with a better post than what is currently top ranked. Well, how are you going to do that? And here are a few ideas. One example, if the top ranking article on a given subject is 10 tricks you can teach your cat, you can write a post that's 20 tricks you can teach your cat. Why not? With these like list focus articles in particular, the easy solution is to simply just come up with more content. Let me ask you this. Which is better? An app that goes to 10 or to 11? Well, obviously 11 because it's one louder. Make your content go up to 11. If they wrote a blog post that is 1,000 words, make yours 1,100 words. Make your post one louder than the other person's post. This way, when the person that you're reaching out to is comparing them and comparing apples to apples, they see that yours is better than theirs. One other way, write a more comprehensive post. Some blog posts only scratch the surface on a particular subject and still get ranking for it. If you could spot this in the top ranked post that you're trying to take down by adding more detail to where the leading post kind of skimmed, you can have something better to pitch in your outreach, saying, this post really didn't go into blah, blah. We went into a deep dive on all of this. So it's really better for the reader because we go fully into the subject matter when the other article that you're linking to doesn't really cover it so much. Sometimes the best ranking blog post is incredibly out of date. If it's been king of the hill for a long time because it accumulated backlinks over the years, maybe that content could use an updating for modern times. Like if you find a post that has old or outdated information, you can reference some of the still relevant information, but updating that post with new information. Some blog posts are ugly as hell, and people hate ugly blog posts. Ugly blog posts make people sad. If you can create a post with better visuals, maybe an infographic, your readers will find it more appealing than the current winning blog posts. So we talked about a few of these different ideas for how you can create content that is more interesting and appealing than what right now is the currently top ranked post on the topic that you're going after. So take all of this in mind and go ahead and create that much better post. After that, we got to deal with outreach. So as we mentioned before, you should have saved all of the URLs that you're going after for backlinks. You should know what websites are linking to your currently top ranked post that you want to get links from. You should also know what links of theirs on their posts are linking to these competitor sites. But for each of these websites, we need to find contact people to reach out to so we can email them and say, hey, I came across your article at this link. I saw that you linked to this post in particular. I wanted to let you know that we wrote a better post than it. You should link to our post instead. We need to find a contact person, an email address, someone to reach out to. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at our spreadsheet and we're going to use an outreach tool in combination with this. It's a free outreach tool. It's called hunter.io. You can go to the web address. It's hunter.io. That's the address. And you can use it to find the contact information of the websites that you're trying to connect with. We've mentioned this before in other videos about preparing for publishing your blog posts, as well as getting ready for outreach. Hunter.io is a database tool that helps you find anyone's email address. You just insert the web address and it'll spit back any email addresses that it has of contacts in its database related to that URL. They may not have your specific contact that you're trying to reach, but they may at the very least know of the right email configuration. So in this example, hunter.io can tell you that it doesn't have Andy's email from the Offsprout team, but we know that Sam's email from the Offsprout team is sam@Offsprout. So you can probably venture a guess that Andy from Offsprout's email is Andy@Offsprout, which is just as good. Knowing the email configuration is just as good as having someone's email address from them. And the reason that you want to use a tool like hunter.io is no one wants to get an email from a generic inbox. So you don't want to just email info@website.com guessing that it's them, or help or support at, because chances are if someone at that website gets an email from you asking for a backlink, chances are they're going to trash that email or send it to spam, because if you're not emailing a specific person and you don't have anyone in mind that you're trying to connect with and just firing at everybody trying to get someone's attention, it just comes off like spam and you're probably not going to get a response. So once you're using hunter.io, use that to get your target contact's email address and then add them to your tracking spreadsheet. Also, try and make sure that the contact that you're trying to connect with is not a guest blogger at that website, but someone who works for the website, like an editor or webmaster or something like that, because you don't want to reach out to a guest blogger like for the Huffington Post or something like that, just for example, because when an article from a guest blogger is published, they might not have the ability to make any changes to the old post and go and log in and swap out a link. So you really need to find a contact of someone at the blogger company who works there full time. And ideally the person that you're reaching out to wrote the article and works for the company as well. So once you have that, you're going to need an email template. Lucky for you, we've built an email template that you could start out with and use as a starting point, and you can customize it from there. You can go to postdaga.com/DL to download our template. Aside from that, let's kind of get into our example email. So, as you can kind of see from this email, first it starts out with a, hey, first name, as any email to an acquaintance should sound. It also doesn't sound fake, like hello website.com. Then it gets right to the point, saying that you know about their content, and in particular, this specific post that you want to link from so that they know what you're talking about. You're getting right to the point here. If their website has been around for a while, they have definitely gotten this kind of outreach email before, and they're going to know what you're going to be asking. Regardless, it's fine. Next, we tell them what your article is about and why it's relevant and worth checking out. If you don't, they may not check the link to your post. God forbid they assume you're a robot and that your link is a phishing attempt or a virus or something. So show your recipient that it's worth it for them to click the link to your article. And, sell it here, because you have to give them a reason to want to click that link and possibly swap out the link that they're currently having to some other website to your site instead. Next, I want to talk about kind of what we're doing and why in this email. We're doing a few different things. First, we have to show that we're human. Email outreach is very common. Tons of blog posts get outreach every day. A lot of the time, outreach is done very shoddily, done very poorly. It can come off as automated or impersonal. And chances are, but if you send me a robotic sounding email, I'm just going to skip it and spam it because you probably have no idea what my blog is about if you're sending a generic email. One way to help with that is not send an email to hello @ or contact @ or info @, but find the specific target recipient you're trying to reach. And if you can't find their email, your best guess is to try and guess an email and then get a bounce back and then try again. Emails sent to generic inboxes show that you don't know who you're trying to connect with, and you're just praying that someone looks at your email. Next, show some love. Show that you appreciate them. Flatter them. It goes a long way. Let them know that you really care about their content and appreciate the work they do. It'll help you stand out from all the other requests that they're getting. Next, you got to show that you're not wasting their time. Unsolicited emails are tricky. You have to show that you know who they are and that you're not asking for something irrelevant. I've gotten tons and tons of outreach emails from blogs that I've managed, and I can't tell you how many times it's been clear that someone just fired off an outreach email without doing the research to understand my website or my blog. Because if they did, they know that we wouldn't be a good fit. So me reading their email is just wasting time out of my day. And people assume that you want something from them. But with a sincere and non-robotic tone and showing that you are a real person who knows about them, you can show that you are not wasting their time. And last, you have to have the ask. You want them to look at your blog post and replace it with their old link. And if you've taken care of the first 3 steps of this, you'll at the very least get some consideration. So taking a look again at that email, we first show that we know who they are. We mention what we're looking for. We say, we know that you linked to this blog post, and here is the ask, and then here is the sell, pitching our post and why it's better, because chances are, if they are not curious, they're just going to delete your email. So you have to sell it in the email and not just hope they're going to click that link. You have to sell it to them to get them to click that link. And then, show the appreciation. Thanks for your consideration. So to recap all of this, first we have our topic research. We're using our tools, our Ahrefs, SEMRush, Buzzsumo to see what a top-ranked post is in a given subject matter. We're seeing a topic that has both backlinks and search volume so that we can take down that post and reach out to the many websites that are linking to the top-ranked post and get them to switch their links over to us. Then once we've found those backlinks, using our tool and written them down in our spreadsheet, we're going to write the best post ever on the subject matter. And after all that's done, after we've written this amazing blog post, we have to do our outreach. We have our email template that we can start with, and we can reach out to them, asking for them to link to our post instead of the other post that they've currently linked to. And important to all of this is follow-up. After your first email, make sure that if they don't respond, you follow up with another email. And this has been our walkthrough of the Skyscraper Technique. Skyscraper Technique is a very powerful link building tool, and using all of what we've taught you today, from researching topics to finding a post that's worthy about writing about, to finding link sources, you can get a ton of high quality links to your blog to help build your traffic and search rankings. And if you haven't yet, please like this video, subscribe to this channel, check out some of our other videos on link building outreach, and please also check us out online at offsprout.com or postaga.com. Thanks.